health. We talk about the Avs' potential defensive lineup, what more they can get out of some of their new players, and more. Join us right now. Welcome into the Toyota Lounge, powered by your Front Range Toyota dealerships for the DNVR Avalanche Pregame show, presented by Coors Light. Avs taking on the New York Islanders, and Patrick Roy himself. Does look like it will be Ilya Sorokin and not Semyon Varlamov in net, though. So at least there's no ex-Av curse going on there.
I know.
Looking for some positives. Avs, obviously... We've talked about the goaltending. I don't want to get into it for the millionth time. It is what it is. It's going to be what it's going to be. Georgiev getting the start today. If things go south, if things go north, we'll talk about it in the post-game show. I don't think we really need to explain it. Everyone and their mother has beaten this topic to death already 2 games in. So, Georgiev is a starter. We're going to leave it at that. Beyond that, I don't think the official lineup has been announced quite yet. We'll get you that as soon as it comes out there. Could potentially be a few different defensemen in this game. We'll see how that actually plays out. But the Avs coming into this one, look, game 1, season opener, game 2, home opener, all of the whistles and bells and frills are gone now. It's time to focus up and do what you need to do. Get the job done, yeah?
Yeah, you're right. And like you said, it starts in net, then it's like it starts in being tighter, not giving up so many gimmies. Not that they had a lot, but you don't like to give one gimme, you know what I mean? So it's like there was a couple. I can think of the Manson, again, beat to that on the first goal last game, right? So you want to make sure you tighten up a little bit. And then I think the special team's been rolling, things like that. The power play has been rolling.
True.
Okay. There's been a few in the net. Not a good thing. But I think that there'll be some energy in the building. Patty Waugh coming back. That's going to be exciting a little bit. It brings a little bit of flair to the game, right? But somewhere, somehow, those 2 teams have not been in the winning column. Someone logically is winning tonight. So somebody's walking out of Ball Arena tonight with 2 points and someone's not. So I think you're going to see a fun hockey game, a good hockey game. Looking forward to it, like you just said. And when it comes down to the lineup, like you were talking about, it looked like Wood was there this morning, but he had a lengthy conversation with the trainers. I don't know. Who knows? Bednar alluded to it. I think they basically told everyone get to the rink tonight. We'll see what happens. You might see some new guys on the back end. Is Taves playing, not playing? I don't know. Wasn't there yesterday. Is he just maintenance? Maybe. I don't know. But we shall see. And at some point, they're going to have to put Shillington and even Ludwig in, in some games. Because I think you're going to see a rotation there. I don't think you're going to see the top 4 being rotated in, but I think you'll see the third pair with 4 guys being, knocking injuries, being rotated in.
All right. Well, look, you talked about a little bit of the chaos at morning skate today with it semi-optional and people taking days off for maintenance or whatever it might be. Let's hear what you and Giz had to say on today's edition of Hockey in the Rockies.
Hey, it is game day for the Colorado Avalanche, 3rd of the season, 2nd at Ball Arena. Nick Gizmondi and Big E with Hockey in the Rockies, and a sentimental edition because Patrick Roy back inside Pepsi Center / Ball Arena for the first time, and it's fun for you. He's your big brother.
Oh, I love the man. I love the player. What a great player to play with. And obviously got a history there, my dad being his agent. And, hey, love to see in the rafters, you got the banner.
Yeah.
My father, you got the banner of Patty Watt. Again, a lot more and a lot others. But great to have him back here. I mean, he deserves a lot of credit for what the Avalanche are today.
What can we expect tonight from this Colorado Avalanche team? Jared Bednar has confirmed that Georgiev is going to start. We've talked ad nauseum about that being a situation, but you know what? Jared Bednar loyal. He's going with his man, and it's a mental thing that Georgiev is going to have to figure out. And sometimes, if you're going through hell, the only way to get through is to just keep going.
Exactly. Like you said, everything goes out the window. Just go play. It's a fun game. Just think of it. Sometimes maybe that's what I used to do. Think of it when you were a little kid. No different tonight. Right. Don't put too much pressure out there. Make a save. Hopefully he can make 1 or 2 big saves early in the game, get his confidence back. Obviously, listen, it's no secret he needs to be better than he's been those first 2 games.
Yeah, you can't do what you did the first few games, but he has proven that he can bounce back. And I've said this before, getting to know Jared Bednar, I think if there's a man for the job with the right demeanor to help in a situation like this, it's him.
Yeah, I think he's he's calm, cool, all the time, right? He's as cool as a cucumber, and that's why he's one of the best coaches in the National Hockey League. And it's funny because they asked him today about, took over from Patty Waugh, and he's like, yeah, I owe Patty Waugh steak dinner. Somewhere, somehow, that's true, because of Patty's departure. And then, obviously Jared, rightfully so, getting the chance to be the Colorado Avalanche coach, and he's done a marvelous job. But you're right, it comes, he's got a calming factor, and I think tonight's very important for him to be calm, especially at the start of the game.
If this little streak that the Avalanche are on happened 15 games into the season, nobody would bat an eye. Because it's the way it is right now, it's obviously glaring. He seems to have been able to calm the room down with some affirmation about the way that they've played and backed it up with numbers. What's the mentality of this Avalanche team coming into tonight right now?
One game at a time, one shift at a time. It's as cliche as it gets, but don't worry about falling to 0-3. It's human nature. I think it's in the back of your head as a player. So you're 0-2 right now. You got a home stand here of 4 games. It didn't go well the first game. Let's see how it goes tonight. Somewhere, somehow, you got to be sharp. You got to be ready. Who knows who's going to be in the lineup? Obviously, Miles Wood was there today, even after missing practice yesterday. Who knows if Devontae is going to be in there? He missed practice yesterday. We all know Joe Druin is still out. We all know that there might be a little bit of Blendnar. A little bit of Bednar Blendnar. We'll see what happens. It might be some change on D as well. Ludwig and Shillington are also in the mix, and you want to get those guys in at some point. You don't want to be sitting out the start of the year. I mean, it's been a long summer for a lot of guys. Somewhere, somehow, you want to get everybody involved. Maybe tonight's the night that 1 or 2 make their way in.
All right, puck drops at 7 o'clock at Ball Arena. Make sure you head on down to the DNVR bar and hang out with the guys who will be there doing the pregame show. We'll have a postgame for you. I'll be bringing you reports from the arena as we get ready for game number 3 and the season just getting going. This is Hockey in the Rockies with Big E and Gizmo. See you later tonight.
So just to reiterate what we were talking about just a moment ago, officially Devontae's out tonight, not out there for warm-ups, and it looks like Calvin DeHaan also going to be a scratch tonight. So that means both John Ludwig and Oliver Shillington drawing into the Avs defensive lineup. Realistic expectations for those two tonight?
Well, it's always exciting when you're putting on a new jersey, in the NHL. So I think both of them, even though they've had different careers so far, different careers so far. S was put in the wrong place. A guy like Shilly's been around, but I think you get excited. I think what you want to do is just keep it very simple. Whoever you're going to be paired up with, not too sure right now. We haven't seen what's coming out of warm up, but and again, the Blednar will be coming out. It's out.
Mm-hmm. Shillington next to Makar to start, but
Makes
yes,
sense. Yeah, exactly.
It will be blended. Yeah. There is no doubt.
Perfect. Then you got Sammy and Josh probably, and then you got Ludwig and Sam. Ludwig, stay at home slasher. Probably going to see some PK time. Shilly's a good skater. If he can, would complement Kale really well. By skating, making the simple pass. I think what you want to do if you're one of those two guys is you haven't played all year right now. You want to keep things simple. Find the simple play. Find the first pass that makes sense, the easy one. Don't try to make the home run play. And then just, again, activate, play what Avalanche type of hockey. And I think it's important to get those guys in as much as, again, sounds like Devontae's is hurt. Calvin DeHaan. It's all those guys. They're going to be a little bit of a rotation. You want to get
We said
everybody
it all
in.
preseason. They're going to play 8. And
That's my point.
We didn't know the 8 was John Ludwig at the time, but it is
Exactly.
what it is.
I think they are. I think it was all planned out, and that's okay. You want to get guys involved, and you want to feel good about your game. You want to see where you're at, and I think it's important tonight to, as a coaching staff as well, to see where those two are at because they haven't played a regular season game yet for the Avalanche.
Well, we'll see what happens on that defensive side. Maybe ease bonus key there. Let's pan out to the entire team and get your 3 keys for everybody for the Avs tonight.
Yeah, I think it's very important. I mean, that tonight you're, focus on the task at hand. Very important. I mean, individually, collectively, each shift, each read. I know it sounds cliche, but listen, when you've had the start that they've had, that means I'm not talking about goaltending. I'm not talking about special. I'm not talking about individual players. I'm talking about as a team, you're 0-2. You don't want to start the season 0-2. Now, you certainly don't want to go down 0-3. So I think it's very important tonight that you just focus on the task at hand, FOTA, and then get going, which brings you to number 2, power of the mind. You got to stay upbeat no matter what. You might see something. A penalty in the first shift or bad goal against whatever. I'm not trying to harp on the goaltending, but you can't go and say, here we go again if it happens. You got to stay positive. You got to make sure.
Let us say that.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Let Twitter world blow up. Tiff, you, me, everybody. But let's not, as a team, you know what? Trust each other no matter what. And then hopefully things are calm, and then you get on the W side at the end of the game. Keep up the gas. There's been some good stuff. I think Bednar talked about it at his presser yesterday. There's been some good stuff. The numbers are good. They're not giving up a ton. They are generating some stuff. The PP's been clicking. I mean, Casey Mittelstadt's been playing well. The offense is scoring some goals. They've scored 8 goals, right, in 2 games. I mean, man, that's a pretty good pace. You know what I mean? So the chances are generated for the most part. So I think it's more put it all together from the goaltending to the defense to the forward to the special teams. And I think you want to get on top of it. Then, like I said, why not tonight against a Avalanche legend, Patty Waugh? That'd be nice.
At a certain point, analysis and everything else goes out the window, and you just got to win a hockey game.
That's
right?
it.
I don't think we're quite there yet, but if they have another one with a struggle in net tonight, we might be.
Well, I mean, that's well for Twitter world, yes.
Yeah, Twitter world's there after every loss,
but also for the coaching staff, and then for management, and then we talked about the importance of that 20 game, first quarter of the season with all the stuff that we've talked ad nausea all summer long with the uncertainty of their lineup. But we said it was going to be important to have a 20 games to stay afloat until things get sorted out a little bit. Well, it's certainly not the way you wanted those first 2 games to go that way, to go hand in hand with what we've been talking about. Them, us, Twitter world, about the first 20 games to be so important to keep yourself competitive in there and make sure you don't fall behind.
We got a comment in the Toyota chat from Joe Schmo here who says, Georgia going to bounce back tonight. Waugh's presence going to rub off on him. 3-2 Avs. Well, we did catch up with Patrick Waugh on a one-on-one at Morning Skate. So let's see what Patrick Waugh had to say about the Avs and this game.
Patrick, obviously, you talk at length about the emotions of being back in a building. Obviously, your connection with Pierre was deep and very rooted in family. We've talked about that a lot. But what was it like seeing the banner up in the rafters for the first time of Pierre and sort of the homage that's being paid to him?
Well, certainly well-deserved because, I mean, he was very passionate about the game of hockey. The time he was an agent or the time he was a GM, I mean, he had a dream, and his dream was to win one day the Stanley Cup. So when the opportunity came in for him to become a GM in Quebec and moving in Colorado, I mean, I knew that that's what he was aiming for. And obviously the chance that I got to be traded to the Avs and having a chance to win a Stanley Cup with him, I mean, these are things we were talking when he was the agent. I said, it'd be fun if one day we have that opportunity. But it was just cheap talk because we didn't know what the future was holding. But today, I mean, seeing Pierre, I mean, be recognized as a great builder and a man that put together a very good hockey team and really every year giving us a chance to win the Stanley Cup, deserve to be where he is.
Eric tells a lot of different stories about you guys growing up together, and
Yes.
obviously that, you know, Pierre was almost like a second father. What,
Yes.
what do you think the biggest takeaway from him that you learned was? Maybe not as just a player, but maybe it was as a person. Was there one lesson or something from Pierre that you really took away?
Well, one thing Pierre always said to me, be ready when you're retired. And he always wanted to make sure that we think about the life after hockey. And I guess that's the role of an agent, but I mean, he did it perfectly. I mean, you wanted to make sure that we work hard at what we were doing, and we'd be ready for every year, and making sure that Pierre was a very family person. Mm-hmm. I mean, all these clients, I mean, they were like his kids, his children, and he really wanted to make sure that you had everything, and your focus was more on playing than worry about what distraction could be off the ice. So having him, I mean, helping me at the beginning of my career, especially playing in Montreal, was very important. And him and Colombe always been great to our family, and was very supportive in everything we've been doing.
I know it's going to be a warm welcome back for you. You had a huge part, a pioneer of this place. So welcome back to Colorado. Thanks for the time.
It's a pleasure. Thank you very much.
All right. So, regardless of how you feel about him as a coach and Avalanche legend, there's no doubt about that.
Oh my God! Look on the rafters. I mean, I think. Listen, I'm not here to Joe, Peter, or whatever. They're all unbelievable. But I mean, for me, if I look back at the Avalanche 1.0, the piece that solidified everything was the acquisition of Patty Waugh. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, you know, he's an important piece of the history of this franchise, and I think it's awesome that he's back in the building today.
So I wanted to take a look at the Avs lineup here and ask how the Avs can get more out of some of their rookies. If you can pull it up. Obviously, Ludvig in, and you also have Shillington in on the defensive side. We talked about that already. But when you look at the forward side, you have that Colton, McKinnon, Rantanen line. All of those dudes have produced fine. Second line, you have Mittelstadt, who's produced well. Wood has some production, even though he's mostly played in your bottom six. Even players like Ivan and Kelly have given you some decent production. So there's a couple of guys that I really want to talk about here. Cal Ritchie, Nikolai Kovalenko, and then not really a rookie, but almost a rookie in Sam Malinsky.
Yeah.
How can the Avs get more out of those three? Because those three haven't really produced for them yet this season.
Yeah, I think maybe tonight, boy, oh boy, were those the lines for warm-up there? Like, is Covey playing with...
That is what is from warm-ups, but again,
Yeah.
blender expected.
I mean, yeah, I see big things for Kovalenko tonight. I don't know why. He seems like he's just falling into his own right now. He's smiling at practice. He's, again, you know, I mean, he was playing with McKinnon. I mean, who doesn't? That would put a smile on my face. But I think he's going to be the guy that has probably the highest chances, if you are going to ask me to bet on it, to produce, let's say, some production on the score sheet tonight. I think Cal... it's a work in progress, right?
Yep.
It just, you and me talk about this all the time. It is the National Hockey League is a tough league, and you know he's looked good at times, he's looked lost a little bit at times, which is to be expected. I think it's how quick is he going to grasp everything and put it all together in his brain to go out there. And I think I read a quote from Bednar this morning from Luke Johns with the Avalanche, and he said he wants the Avalanche to play a little bit more with their instincts. Not so much like, you know, robotic and methodical, even though his practices have been based on all that kind of stuff. At some point, you got to let your brain take over and let your talent shine. So I think Cal Ritchie falls in that category. You know what I mean? Because he is more skilled than others, but somewhere, somehow, where's his base of basic hockey?
Yep.
You know what I mean? Where we all know it's not as fun. Playing junior hockey, there is not a lot of... It's just not a lot of structure. There just isn't. You can get away in juniors. It's tough to get away in the NHL. And then I think Sam just he's got to be Sam like he's been for the past month. You know what I mean? And I think that Obviously, playing third pair might be a little bit different tonight. We'll see what happens. Maybe he'll get more opportunities. I don't know. With Tay's not out there, so does that mean that he gets maybe a little more ice time? I'm not saying he's going to get out there with Kale, but I'm saying who knows how the 6D ice time is going to be distributed tonight. We shall see.
It's going to be a lot of Kale McCarr,
That's why I mean. It's going to be a lot of Kale, so that's what I'm saying. So we'll see what happens. He's the only... no, he's not. Josh is out there. But again, they have 3 lefties, 3 righties. Sometimes you overthink that as a coach. But, I think it's a good, fair question by you. You know what I mean? But I'm going to go with Kovalenko. That probably could attack the score sheet tonight compared to the other ones.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. Yeah. And we also did talk to him. So let's hear what Nikolai Kovalenko had to say, particularly about playing with Nathan MacKinnon.
Yeah, I think it's more bonus for just everybody for just like a mood. So we did just good thing just for last game, and we keep it safe and just continue just pressure, continue just play game and have fun.
How difficult is it to stay motivated in situations like these where you're down 2 games?
I know, like you, but for me it's so easier, like motivation, because I think everybody would like just win the game. So it's I think we just every game just would like this, and I think it's after winning the game, just everybody like fun, everybody just perfect mood. So it's like easier.
Does participating in this optional practice help you get mentally prepared for this game?
Come again, please?
The optional practice, being part of it this morning, does that help you get mentally prepared for the game?
Just more skates for just a couple minutes, like 5-10 minutes, just feeling my body, feeling my skates, sticks, arms, so just shoot. I like it just.
How fun is it to play with Nathan MacKinnon?
It's a so hard question. It's a perfect experience first of all for me, because I think just everybody would like just to play with him, because he's superstar. So I like it.
You're playing tonight against Patrick Waugh, and he was traded for your dad. How much has your dad ever really talked about that trade?
Maybe we'll talk about a couple times, because it's history. It's when I maybe just ask him about why you just traded this team, he just thought explain me, but it's not big. I think just for him it's not big decision for just trade, because in 30 years ago it was so easy, not like today. It's so easy trade. Everybody just trade in the other team. So I think for me it's doesn't matter. To be honest,
Not everybody gets traded.
Thing fell off.
I know. All right, so we can talk all we want about the game, but at the end of the day, the Avs just have to get this thing wrapped up, done, and better. And I know I said we weren't going to talk about it, but you're going to need to give up less than 6 tonight.
Not according to Ottawa today.
Unless you're Ottawa and you can score 8.
Final score, Ottawa Senators 8, LA Kings 7. And it's what? That was unbelievable. I was dying. But yes, you're right. I mean, it starts with goaltending. You're going to need better goaltending. We all know that. Yeah, it's not an unbelievable statement by us saying this. And he knows it. Everyone knows it. But you're right. You just got to go out there today, focus. And the regular season has started. So it's not what do you call that, preseason, when it's who cares? It's just preseasons.
You care.
Somewhere,
you care
somehow,
now,
now, the results matter.
Yep, agreed.
So you could play great and you lose. It stinks. It's not good. But if you're right now trying to talk, no, I'm kidding. But you know what I mean? At the end of the day, results matter, and this is a results-driven business. So very important to get the W tonight.
And look, if you had to pick a team that might be a little bit low scoring, maybe help you out a little bit on not scoring too many goals on you, a team like the Islanders might be that team.
Oh, yeah. So. And then I was talking to the coaching staff. I got some good buddies there on that side. And, they said it's been tough to score goals. Yep. And it's been tough for for a while now. This is nothing new. You know what I mean? And it's been so it's like maybe they're the perfect opponent for each other. Either way, right? You know what I mean? Like,
neither has a win. One of them has to win tonight. So.
And if it can't score goals, well, the Avs have given up a lot of goals. You know, maybe they're good. Maybe the Avs are good for the Islanders. On the flip side of things, they're not scoring a lot of goals, so maybe that's good for the Avalanche. You know, so we'll see.
One way or the other.
We'll see. We'll see what happens there.
We did have one super chat here from Banks who says, for $5, so happy Avs are back, and so is my favorite coverage. Looking forward to the season with y'all. Rudo with the glow up too. Nice, appreciate it, Banks.
Glow up?
Thank you.
What's that mean?
Yeah, all that weight I lost.
Oh,
buddy.
yes. He shifted over on this side. He just made a one-time pass over here.
Permanent. That's permanent. You can keep it. All right, let's get to my bets. Look, the normal bets aren't working, so I had some fun, even pregame picks for you with Bet365 on this one. Took Cale Makar, first goal scorer. He's the guy on defense tonight. He's got to do it all, so why not score a goal? Plus 1,200. The bet I really like tonight, Casey Mittelstadt, power play point. He's been playing on that top unit. He is plus 300 to get a power play point. That's pretty good money right there.
Yeah.
And then, look, this might be me more trying to speak it into existence than it actually being a real bet. But Georgiev shutout is plus 1,000. So why not throw one out there? Maybe you get lucky.
Well,
all right?
there's, again, you're either nuts or you're a genius. I mean, it's one of the two.
That's why that one's called Big Dreams.
I like it. I love it. I love it.
Whatever bets you're going with, mine or otherwise, make sure you're doing them with Bet365 and you're using the code DNVR365 when you sign up. Of course, when you do gamble with Bet365, you must be 21 or older, physically located in Colorado, and if you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call or text 1-800-GAMBLER today. E, any final thoughts before we wrap up this pregame show for today?
Boy, oh boy, it would be nice to get a W tonight. I think it just makes everything better. It makes everybody smile. It makes everybody less tense, especially in the chat and on Twitter. And right here in the studio, we got to keep Tiff under control. She's getting a little bit antsy right now. She'd like to see a W. See what I mean?
All right. I think one of Eric's favorite phrases is keep it simple. I'd like to see the Avs do a little bit of that tonight.
No, but you're right. But I'm telling you right now, if you had a microphone in the locker room right now, I bet you heard that 30 times the past 20 minutes or whatever it is. Like, you're going to hear it 30 times the next 10 minutes until they get on the ice. So keep it simple, stupid. Keep it simple, stupid. You know what I mean? Like, you got to keep things simple. You got to play north-south. You got to make things happen. Play your style of game. Don't worry about the opposition right now. Just worry about your game. Dictate the pace. They'll be fine.
8-7 or 1-0, you'll take the win no matter how you can get a hold of it in the regular season. So we're going to wrap up this show. We appreciate all y'all hanging out with us. We do have a watch-along coming up here, so be sure to join us for that. This has been the DNVR Avalanche pregame show presented by Coors Light. We'll talk to you in a few minutes.
We all silly like the mayor.